cotton DK yarn. This is DMC 100% baby cotton yarn. Alright, and a 4mm hook, your scissors, and tapestry needle. Any DK weight yarn, cotton yarn that matches the gauge of the pattern will do as well. The pattern is written for 7 sizes, so you will need to refer to the written pattern, which is a free pattern on the blog, for the number of chains that you need to start with. For this, I'll be chaining 65. Now we're going to skip the first 2 chains, 1, 2, and do a half double crochet into the 3rd chain. Make your half double crochets into each chain across. You can go in straight into the chain as well. Now these 2 chains that we skipped, it doesn't count as a stitch. At the end of the row, chain 2 and turn. Make another row of half double crochet. From here on, we're going to be making half double crochet stitches all the way to the number of rows required for the size you're making. So just make half double crochet stitches. At the end of the row, chain 2, turn. And always make your half double crochet into the very first stitch, because chain 2 doesn't count as a stitch in this pattern. Yeah. Alright, so now on to row 45, we'll be doing decreases. Okay, we're going to decrease across 3 stitches. Into the first stitch here we go. So we're going to do a HDC2 together, not a HDC3. And skip the next stitch, and into the next one, the 3rd stitch, we'll go in there and we'll do our decrease. Alright, half double crochet across the row up to the last 3 stitches. We're going to decrease this last 3 stitches. On the last 3 stitches, we'll do a half double crochet, decrease, skip the next stitch, and into the last stitch, decrease. Okay, chain 2. We're going to do another row of decrease. In fact, we're going to repeat this decrease row 2 more times. Skip the next stitch and into the next decrease. Half double crochet across till the last 3 stitches. Decrease in the last 3 stitches and repeat the row 1 more time. Another decrease, skip next stitch and into the last stitch. Another row of decrease, skip the next stitch, decrease, half double crochet across the last 3 stitches and then decrease. Okay, chain 2, turn. We're going to do just 1 more row of decrease, but this time it's not going to be across 3 stitches, it will be across 2 stitches. So decrease, and half double crochet across till last 2 stitches, decrease in those 2 stitches. Once the decreases are done, so that's 4 rows of decreases, we're going to raise it up. So no more decreases now. Chain 2, half double crochet across the next couple of rows. Once we raise this up, now we're going to mark out the neckline, the neck and the shoulder. So I'm going to chain 2 and turn. Our next row will be half double crochet across. And 1 half double crochet into the last stitch. I'm going to chain 1 and turn. Okay, the chain 1 is done on the inside. Okay, while when we work backward and we want to chain, we will chain 2 on the outside and chain 1 on the inside, the neckline. Okay, the next row will be a decrease. We'll decrease in the first 2 stitches. So what I want to do is skip this first stitch. Don't make any stitch in here. Go into the next stitch. We are decreasing. So instead of doing a HDC2 together, we're just skipping the first stitch. And we'll do half double crochet across. Chain 2, turn, half double crochet across. So what we're doing really is repeating these 2 rows, half double crochet across, and then when we come back to work the next row, we will skip the first stitch and half double crochet across. Chain 1 and turn. Decrease the first 2 stitches. So we're going to skip the first stitch and half double crochet into the next stitch. And half double crochet across the row. Chain 2 and turn. So repeat one more time. Half double crochet across. Then chain 1, turn. Skip the first stitch, half double crochet across. Join yarn in stitch. Chain 1. Half double crochet into the same stitch. So, we on the inside we are chaining 1. On the outside we're chaining 2. I'm going to carry this tail along. So across this row, make half double crochet stitches. Chain 2 and turn. Half double crochet across till last 2 stitches. We're going to decrease in this 2 stitches. Now we're going to decrease in those last 2 stitches. I'm going to skip this next one and do a half double crochet into the last stitch. Chain 1 and turn. Half double crochet across. Half double crochet into that first stitch and into each of the stitches across. So chain 2, turn, and make another row of half double crochet and decrease at the end. And decrease, skip next stitch and half double crochet into the last stitch. Chain 1, turn. Now repeat this next 2 rows. Half double crochet across, and then half double crochet across, chain 2, turn. Half double crochet across, decrease in last 2 stitches, and that's going to be the end. Okay, once we're done with the back panel, we're going to make the front panel. The front panel is done exactly the same way, start with the same number of chains and the same decreases and the same number of rows. The only difference is at the end of the row, but on the last row, we're going to mark out our our neckline. So the number of stitches we have here, okay, let's say this is 66 rows. We're gonna stop here at 65 rows, and the number of stitches we have here, the last row of the front panel, is what we're going to mark out here, because this is just going to be one row. We're going to work this one row. Okay, so it will be on the 66th row now. Okay, chain 2 and half double crochet across the number of stitches required to match that of the front panel. I'm going to come to the other side, pick up my yarn, and insert. Okay, I have 10 stitches here, so it has to be 10 stitches here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9, okay. Join your yarn, chain 1, and we have double crochet across the row. Once we're done with that, with the back panel, we're going to join. Okay, the right side, the front of our work of this is from the very first row, which is the half double crochet that has the right side facing us. Okay, we will turn to the back. So this is our wrong side, judging with the very first row of half double crochet we made. And join the shoulders. After we join the shoulders, we will also join the sides. When you sew the sides, the last row where you join should be just before the decrease begins. So that's going to be the last place where the last row that we're going to sew into. Okay, this is it right here, just before the decrease. The decrease starts here. Once we finish seaming the sides, it's time for us to trim the armhole. Okay, we're going to start with for here, you can, if you were going to use 2 colors, you can use the contrast color on the edging and the neckline as well. It's just a preference. So this is our first decrease row. That's where we're going to start from, the first decrease row. The first decrease row, insert your hook right there. So we want to join this back panel and the front panel. Once we connect both panels, we're going to chain 1 and make a single crochet into the same row. Chain 1, single crochet in the next row. What we're doing is two stitches per row, but we're doing a single crochet and a chain 1. So in the next row, okay, after the single crochet, chain 1, in the next row, single crochet, chain 1, next stitch row, single crochet, chain 1. That's what we're going to repeat all the way to the joining at the shoulder. Right in the middle, the center, we have one row here and one row here. We want to connect these two rows, the one in the front at the front panel and the one at the back panel. So we're going to do a decrease after after the second to the last row, single crochet, chain 1, and then into the next row, the last row on front panel and the last row on back panel. Single crochet 2 together, chain 1, and single crochet into the next stitch, chain 1. So we're going to repeat that now all the way down, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1 into each stitch row. Now we're at the very last row, which is where we began from. Okay, second to the last row, and then into the last row, after the chain 1, single crochet and join into the very first stitch, chain 2, single crochet into chain 1 space. So into each chain 1 space, we're making a single crochet. We're down to the last single crochet. This is the chain 1. I just made a single crochet in there, and this is the last single crochet, and we're going to join into chain 2, and we're done for this sleeve. So you want to repeat what we've done on this sleeve for the second side. Now we're going to work the neckline, which is the last part. Alright, so we'll start from the back. Now we have our stitch ends here. So into the next stitch we're going to join our yarn and chain 1. Okay, into the next stitch we will make single crochet all the way down the row. Okay, once we get to the last stitch on this row, we are going to decrease from this last stitch and into the first stitch, the first row here. I mean, we have only one row here anyway because it's the back panel, so we will do a decrease from this last stitch and into the row, the very row on for the shoulder, and we will do another decrease to connect the front panel. So from here, from the same space and into the next, we're doing a decrease. So we are connecting these two panels, even though yes they are joined, but we're doing a decrease at the side there, and we'll make another single crochet into the same stitch. Yeah, we just did a decrease because for these rows we're making 2 single crochets each into them, and in the next row 2 single crochets. I'm going to repeat that, 2 single crochets into each row. Okay, now we're on to the last row. The last row before we enter the front panel, I mean the neckline from the front panel. So 1 single crochet in here, and we're going to decrease. We're going to connect this and the very first stitch on here, the very first stitch on the neckline on the front panel. See, we have another stitch gaping here, not in this one because we already worked a row here, but in the next one we'll do a decrease. Single crochet into each stitch on the front panel to the last stitch. We are on to the very last stitch here, so we're going to connect with a decrease and into the first row here. We'll make another single crochet in there, 2 single crochets into the next row, and each row up to the point of join at the shoulder. Alright, we're there now at the point of join. So we're going to do a single crochet and another single crochet, connect it to the next row, decrease. Okay, now we're going to decrease this side. So remember we did that here at this point. So we will go again into that stitch and into this stitch here. This is where we began from, where we joined the yarn. Okay, we'll go in there and yeah, finish off that with a decrease. Join into the first single crochet, chain 1, and now we're going to make another row of single crochet, just single crochet around. We're going to start in the first stitch and single crochet all around. Join to the first stitch, snip yarn, and we're done. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial today, and when you make this pattern, go ahead and share with me on Instagram at Craftee, at Facebook at Craftee. I want to see and I want to share it as well. But before you go, don't forget to subscribe to Craftee and turn on notifications so that you don't miss anything that we share on here. Also, check out our previous pattern tutorial, which is the chain loop top. Alright, comes in sizes XS to 4XL for women. Check it out. Thanks. God bless you. Bye.